How's your first year going so far in this short time?
Yeah, not even a year, about 6 months I think maybe, or not even that long, but it's going great. Just absolutely love it. Love the kids, love the staff, love the community. Football crazy, school and town, and we're just excited to go out this year and put on a good product on the field.
Awesome. How does this differ from places that you've coached in the past?
I've always been a Midwest guy, always been a Big Ten guy, than my first time in the state of Texas. And I would say of all the places I've been, football is more important here than anywhere else. And that's to a coach, I'll take that. I'd rather people care than not even show up for games. And so, like I say, it's a football-driven school, community, state of Texas is football-driven. These kids know how to work hard. It's been phenomenal.
Last year, Coach Kingsbury mentioned that a lot of the Big 12 defenses were playing cloud 3 against the offense. Did you notice that trend as well, looking at the film from last year, and what are some things that you may try to do to combat that?
So I did, but I tell you what, the defenses that people play in this conference, you don't see anywhere in the Midwest. It doesn't happen in the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC. No one plays like this. But at the same time, no one has thrown the ball as well as the Big 12 has the last couple of years. So looking at film, what defenses are doing a great job of is putting 8 guys into pass defense. But at the same time, the minute you show run, they all show up and stop the run. So there's a fine line between us having the balance of finding ways to block the guys that are dropping into pass coverage, if that makes any sense, when we want to run the ball. But at the same time, using some RPOs and show and run and throwing the ball down the field. Did
you use a lot of play action at your previous coaching stops?
Yeah, I always have. I've always been a little bit more tight end based, 7-man protection, throwing the ball down the field. But what has happened in college football the last 3, 4 or so years is this whole run-pass offense. And I think those are some areas in which we're going to still continue to look to grow because the rules dictate and they say that you can, so we're going to try to do that.
Right. It was one of the big changes to the depth chart this year where a tight end is actually listed on there for the first time in forever.
But at the same time, it's not because Kevin Johns is here. I think it's because we've had some bodies that have now shown up in that role. And Texas Tech has always been our spread team. Don't necessarily recruit the tight end position as much. But this year we have 2 guys that we think can do it, and so we're going to see how they can help us be dynamic and move the ball.
You mentioned RPO. Which quarterbacks would be best in an RPO situation?
I think they all can do it because really RPO, you're either handing the ball to a tailback or you're throwing it to a quick wideout. So I don't know if you need to be a runner or a drop back guy. I think all of them can handle it.
Did you incorporate pistol at all in your previous stops?
We did, and I know they did here a year ago as well. And there's some things in the run game you like out of the pistol. The challenge is to make sure your pass game matches up with the run game.
Texas Tech historically, the spreads also use wider spread gaps for the offensive line. Your thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I think the days in which they took ridiculous splits, not many people are doing that anymore. I still think you always want to spread out a defense as much as you can. To us, it'll be a little bit of what we do, but not. We're not going back to the old school 3-foot splits that they used to do. So.
All right, who's the one player that's not getting a lot of publicity on this team that you think could have a really good year this year?
Boy, I don't know if I can name just one. I would say both of our running backs, to me, are poised for breakout years. Trey King, DeLeon Ward, I like both those guys. Seth Collins, the transfer that we brought in, I think is going to be a special player for us. Dante Thompson, we talked about as being a little bigger body, kind of H-back off the ball, tight end type guy. I would probably start with those, and then whatever quarterback shows up, and decides to be the starter, we'll go with that guy as well.
You mentioned those 2 running backs. What's it going to take to get them more incorporated into this offense this year, and do you think that they'll be up for it?
Well, they'll for sure be up to it. To us as coaches, the players will tell us who needs to be more involved, right? So whoever comes out and is more productive in August and stays healthy, knows the system, is in great shape, can pass protect, then we got to find ways to get them on the field. To us, we always want to put our best 11 guys out there, whatever positions those are.